subcutaneous layer of the skin, as I told you in our previous lesson. But before that, I would like us to have a recap on what we learned the other time, so that at least we can be able to connect. We started looking at the other parts of the maze, and we seen some of the parts. We looked at the blood vessels. We said that the blood vessels, they enables the distribution of the blood throughout the body, so as to have that uniform distribution of the heat, such that there is no part of the body which is more warmer than the other one. We also looked at the other part, like the sweat glands. The sweating glands, we said these ones, they produce sweat, whereby it is within this sweat where we have the latent heat of evaporation. The latent heat, it is now as the water within the sweat evaporates, this is when this heat escapes from the body and therefore bringing the cooling effect to the body. We also look at the other part as the air, whereby we said air, with respect to the surrounding temperatures, air is going to behave in two phases, whereby if the temperatures are very hot, this air are going to lay flat on along the skin, and when the surrounding environment is very cold, this air are going to rise so as to have an insulating mechanism within the air which is being trapped. We also look at the other part, the nerve ending. And the nerve ending, we said these ones are responsible for detecting the stimuli. Detecting the stimulus around the body. When it is very cold, when it is very warm, it is upon the nerve endings to detect the same. So today let us look at the other parts, that is the subcutaneous layer. Subcutaneous layer, this is the layer of the skin whereby we have the fats, or else it is within this layer where we have the fat deposits. The law of this fat which is being deposited along this layer is that it acts as an insulator. Insulator, that means it protects the body from losing a lot of heat, and also it protects the body from the entry of the cold wind from the surrounding. We also have the other parts within the dermis, or else the rusty part of the dermis, the sebaceous glands. The sebaceous gland. The sebaceous gland, this is the part which produces the sebum. The sebum is just a fluid which is being produced by this part of the sebaceous gland, which now forms the law of the sebaceous gland. Within this sebum, or else the sebum, it is the one which protects entry of microorganisms. We see that the sebum protects the body from the entry of microorganisms, and these microorganisms mostly are the pathogens. Examples of the pathogens, we can say the virus, or also now the ones which may cause the illness into our body. And also this sebum, it makes the skin to be waterproof. We are saying that the sebum makes the skin to be waterproof, and also the other function of it, you have seen this, that it protects the entry of microorganisms into the body. Now this becomes the last layer within the dermis. Now, in brief, a summary of this is we are saying a brief summary in the two main layers of the skin, as we started looking at the epidermis. We are at a point whereby you are able to at least identify the three layers which are within the epidermis. As we said, we have the confined layer, we have the granular layer, and lastly we also have the Malpighian layer. So we have those three within the epidermis. Now it is this three part which forms the outer part of the skin, and then we also have the inner part of the skin, which we have seen. It is the dermis. We have the dermis now, which has almost the very main part of the skin are being contained within the dermis. And for instance, we said that we have the air, we have the blood vessels, we also have the sweat glands, we have the other part, the subcutaneous layer, the subcutaneous layer. We also have the sebaceous gland, among others. Now, having listed all these, then go ahead and be able to remember all the functions of the various parts that we enlisted. Lastly, on skin, I would like us to look at the various ways in which the skin is adapted so that it can be able to perform its functions effectively. Adaptations of the skin. The adaptations of the skin are being made from the various parts which makes up the skin. Whereby, for you to be able to fully understand the adaptation of the skin, you must first be able to know the various parts of the skin and the functions of those parts, so that then it is from the functions of the part which you are going to manipulate to become the adaptations. For instance, if we say the skin has the confined layer, for instance, we are saying the confined layer of the skin, the confined layer of the skin, we say that the skin has the confined layer which has the dead cells, to protect the entry of the pathogens. Now this, it is an adaptation. This is now what it is within this confined layer, which now enables it to protect the entry of the pathogens because of this dead cells, which now are going to form a very hard layer along the skin. You cannot say that the skin has the Malpighian layer. It has the Malpighian layer. Now, for the adaptation of this to be realized, it is now with respect to the content in it. As we see, it has the, within the Malpighian layer, we have a pigment called the melanin. This melanin now, it is the one which has the ability to protect, or also which gives the skin ability to protect it from the UTI. The what we call the ultraviolet rays. These are the strong rays from the sun which have a negative effect when they get onto the skin. Now it is because of the presence of the Malpighian which now protect the body from experiencing the sufferings of these and rays from the sun, or else the dangerous rays from the sun. We can also say the skin has the sweat It has the sweating gland. Now, these sweating glands are the ones which protect, or not protecting, but are the ones which they secrete the sweat, or else they produce the sweat. It is this sweat, as it comes out, the latent heat of evaporation takes place, thus bringing the cooling effect of the skin. We can again say, lastly, it has the blood vessels. The blood vessels, they enable the distribution of heat within the body, therefore ensuring that there is uniform heat all the parts of the body. Now, this marks the end of our lesson today, but I would like you to do this assignment during your free time. You draw and label the structure of a skin. I've said that during your free time, you do these assignments. The assignment grow and label the structure of the human skin. Otherwise, thank you for being attentive during the lesson.